Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Grow Through It podcast. My name is Julia and Happy New Year. This is the first episode of 2026 and today we're talking about how to glow up this year. Glowing up in 2026 to become a healthier, happier version of you. I'm personally very excited for my 2026 glow up and I hope that if this is something that you guys want to do, that I can give you some ideas today. So glowing up isn't about becoming more attractive, although it can be and that's okay. But it's also about becoming more taken care of. It's about feeling good in your body, respecting yourself, and becoming healthier in all aspects. Physically, emotionally, mentally, everything. So I'm going to talk about a couple different areas where we can glow up this year. The first one is health. So this is energy, hormones, and mood. A couple micro habits you can do is drinking water first thing in the morning. This is really important for your hydration. For me, I always get up and fill my 1 liter water bottle and drink it in the first probably hour of waking up usually. Prioritizing protein and fiber with each meal is going to be really important. Eating to feel good, not to control your body. Eating color, fiber, and anti-inflammatory foods, and stop skipping meals to be smaller. Eat to be stronger. I don't know about you, but after indulging at Christmas, I am so ready to eat healthy, and I've been loving eating healthy meals lately. You can find what works for you and find meals you genuinely really enjoy that fuel your body. It doesn't have to be boring. It doesn't have to be chicken and rice and broccoli. You can find really tasty foods that you're going to genuinely enjoy, but that are good for your body. So what I will be doing is prioritizing protein. I'm going to be eating mostly anti-inflammatory, avoiding some of the foods that my body doesn't agree with, like dairy and gluten. I'm going to be focusing on eating to fuel. I plan on doing a lot more workouts this year and exercising a lot more. And I know that to maintain energy, I'm going to need to fuel my body. I also want to listen to my body more. If for some reason I'm more hungry one day, I'm not going to just stick with the 3 meals and 2 snacks I planned. I'm going to let myself eat more if that's what my body needs. Especially if I'm working out more or on my period, your body sometimes needs more food and that's okay. I'm also going to be prioritizing more electrolytes, not just drinking plain water, but adding electrolytes or adding just a pinch of salt to my water. I tend to drink a lot of water, but that doesn't mean I'm always hydrated because I'm missing those electrolytes. So that's something I'm prioritizing. And then the last thing is drinking more matcha over coffee. I really want to reduce my coffee intake, not even for the caffeine intake, mostly just because coffee doesn't always make me feel very good and it is inflammatory. So I'm going to be trying to drink more matcha, and let me tell you, I used to be the biggest matcha hater. I hated it so much, but I found a way to actually enjoy it. So I just mix my matcha powder with a little bit of honey and some oat milk, and it actually tastes really good. And I found that I prefer hot over cold. I also saw this girl on TikTok who made her own like raspberry syrup, and she just did frozen raspberries that were blended up and added some maple syrup and made it kind of like a syrupy consistency, and she adds that into her matcha. So I'm going to try that. I think it sounds really good. So find what works for you. If you don't like matcha, that's fine. Maybe try tea. You can try the energy drink that I use. That's a healthy version, but I think most people could probably lower their coffee intake. The next category is fitness. And not just about aesthetics again, but it's about being functional. Again, you don't want to use movement as punishment. It's a privilege to work out, and that's something I've really come to realize lately. Next week's episode is going to be about getting back into the gym as a beginner. And I'm going to talk about my journey with exercise this past year and what it's going to look like moving forward. But one thing I have learned is being able to exercise is a privilege. It should never be a punishment. So that's something that I think we need to change our mindset about. Again, micro habits you can do is moving your body every day, whether that's just going for a walk, going to the gym, doing yoga, doing physio exercises like I've been doing, or going for a run, whatever that is for you. Find what you enjoy. Strength training 2 to 3 times a week is really important for bone density, confidence, and posture. So even if you normally just do like cardio or yoga, I encourage you to try strength training, even if it's a strength training class, just 2 to 3 times a week. Especially when we get into our 30s, this is really, really important for us. Stretching and mobility to reduce pain and stress, and focus on what your body can do, not how it looks. Again, this is something I really came to realize last year. So some things I'm doing is I'm going to be weight training 4 days a week, running 3 days a week. I'm doing 1 rest day, doing physio daily, which is only a couple exercises. It only takes me like 20 minutes. And then yoga once per week. But I'm also prioritizing more recovery. I recently got a gym membership again, which I've been loving. I really missed going to the gym. And they have a hydro massage bed there. And I used it the other day and it was glorious. So I'm definitely going to be using that more. I'm stretching more too. I stretch in the morning and then I stretch after my workouts. And then I also stretch at work as well. I'm going to be doing more foam rolling, going in the sauna, and even just like the deep stretch yoga classes will be so great for me. So prioritizing more recovery I think is really good because I am going to be exercising more. And I'm also, again, not using exercise as punishment anymore. I'm doing it because training makes me feel good and it helps my mental and physical health. And like I said, not being able to work out for so long has really opened my eyes to be more grateful for my body. I also plan on doing 75 hard again this year. I'm going to be starting March 1st, and I'm very excited for it. Last time it gave me a huge glow up, not just physically, although that was definitely part of it because that was the first time ever that I liked how I looked. But it was also because I just gained so much confidence in myself and I was just so much happier doing it. So I'm really excited to do that. The next category is hygiene. And hygiene is so much more than looking or smelling good. It actually helps regulate your nervous system and it's a form of respect for yourself. Some micro habits you can do is shower daily or intentionally. You can do this post-workout as a morning reset or evening unwind. Since I've been working out more, I've sometimes been showering twice a day because I'm not going to get all sweaty and not shower. So making sure you're doing this daily. I know for some of you that might seem silly to hear me say that. It might seem obvious to you, but some people need to hear it, and that's okay. I also started using a bar soap in the shower. So I wash my body with the bar soap. And then at the end of the shower, I also wash it with body wash. So I do a double soap. If I'm showering twice that day, I'll just do that one shower, not both, just because it can dry out your skin. The next thing is brushing and flossing every night, even when you're tired. I definitely need to get better at flossing every night. But I've been using whitening strips lately and I'm loving it. It makes my teeth feel so much cleaner and it's making me more confident in my smile, but it's also forcing me to floss because I'm using the InnoPro. I don't know if that's how you say it, but it's like a green one, so it makes your teeth green after, and sometimes it gets in between my teeth. So I'm forced to floss after, which is actually a really good thing for me. The next thing is clean clothes and clean sheets weekly. This is something I also have to work on. I want to prioritize washing our sheets every single week. And then the last one is smell good for yourself. So I've been loving finding a perfume that I really like or a perfume roller, and I've been sticking with that. So there's a couple that I use. I use the Choco Musk a perfume roller from Amazon. It's literally like $10, but I get so many compliments on it and it smells so good. And I also use the Let the Good Times Roll spray by Lush. And I've been really liking those. For special occasions, I'll do like an actual perfume, but those are my daily ones. I also do certain things that make me feel better. So personally, I would never get surgery or Botox or anything, and I'm not shaming anyone for that. I just personally don't want that. But I do a couple things for myself. I have my eyebrows done. They are a combination. It's microblading and powder brows. And this helped my confidence so much. I used to be so self-conscious of my eyebrows. I hated them. I had to draw them on every single day. It would take me so long because I wasn't very good at it. And I was always worried about them rubbing off. And now that I have these done, they're good for like 1 to 3 years. And I don't have to worry about them anymore. That has also made me more confident in not wearing makeup. If my brows weren't done, I probably wouldn't be confident enough to not wear makeup. So that's something I do for myself. I also get my nails done because picking out cute colors and designs each month is so fun. And I'm going to treat myself to a facial this year again. I did one last year. And I'd like to start going once a year. I think it's just something that is really nice to do for yourself. And it helped my skin a lot. I also get my hair done twice a year as well, which really isn't much, twice a year, but I love getting a freshen up. And I do these things because they make me feel good. And you don't have to do these things, but if you want to, you should do these things for yourself. There was a point in my life I wasn't allowed to do all this stuff that I'm doing now. And now that I am out of that and have more freedom, I do it because it's something I want. And I'm not doing it for anyone else, I'm doing it for me. The next category is skincare. So kind of going off of the hygiene stuff. I think you have to just keep it simple and non-obsessive. Find a routine you can consistently do that's not too complicated. So just a cleanser, a moisturizer, and if you can add SPF, that's even better, especially in the summer. And then if you want to add a little bit more, you can do a gentle exfoliation 1 to 2 times a week and a targeted serum. So that can be vitamin C, niacinamide, or retinol, or there's something called bakuchiol, which is a vegan retinol, which is what I use, just depending on your skin. And remember that consistency beats complexity. If right now you go to bed every night with makeup on, maybe the first step is to just wash your makeup off before bed. Don't overcomplicate it and add things in slowly. But I think a good skincare routine can do wonders for you. Again, it makes me feel more put together. It's helped my skin so much. I feel cleaner, and I look forward to doing my skincare every morning and every night. The next one is a mental and emotional glow up. Some things you can do are stopping negative self-talk. This one is really, really important. We don't want to be saying anything to ourselves that we wouldn't say to somebody else. Regulating your nervous system daily. So this can be done with meditation, Reiki, breathing exercises, journaling, drinking tea, whatever it is for you. You can do EFT tapping. Find something that regulates your nervous system every day. Keeping small promises to yourself. So if you say that you're going to go to the gym, go to the gym. If you say that you're going to read your book before bed, read the book. You have to keep these small promises to yourself, and that will help build so much confidence and help you feel way better mentally. And lastly, say no more often. It's really important to set those boundaries and not spread yourself too thin. And the last category is lifestyle. So tidying your space every day for as little as 5 minutes is really great. I've been doing this pretty much all year, I think. I make sure I do one thing to clean up my space every day, whether it's putting away the dishes, putting away my clothes, doing a load of laundry, wiping down the counters, whatever it is. Just doing one thing that will clean up your house. This year, I also want to do monthly deep cleans because I have been slacking a lot, especially when we get our new place where it's just me and Paul. I'm really excited to keep it clean. A clean space can help so much with mental health and productivity. And if you don't believe me, just try it for a week and see what happens. The next habit is unfollowing comparison triggers. So if you are following someone on social media that doesn't make you feel good, that you are constantly comparing yourself to, unfollow them. Or if you don't want to unfollow them, you can also just mute them so you don't see their stuff. I like to use social media as motivation to gain more information, to find new recipes and new exercises, and be inspired by people. So those are the kind of accounts that I follow. But if I see something that doesn't make me feel good, or that I'm noticing I'm comparing myself to, I just don't follow them. I say not interested and move on. The next thing is protecting your mornings and evenings. So pick a routine in the morning and evening and stick to it. I did a whole episode on morning and evening routines. So if you don't have one yet, you can listen to that episode. I get into a lot of detail there. But I think it's really important to have these and make sure you stick to them. So get up earlier if you have to. If you don't have time in the morning for a morning routine, wake up 20 minutes earlier or even 15 minutes earlier. You can always make time for it. And lastly, choose environments that make you feel calm, not chaotic. So this can be environments that you're in, like a place, or it can be people that you're around. If there are certain people around that don't make you feel good, or again, that you're comparing yourself to, this doesn't just have to be on social media, stop hanging out with them, or at least limit your time with them. Same thing with your environment. I sometimes have a chaotic job. I work with kids, and that can be a little overwhelming sometimes. So I also make sure to balance that with calming environments, like going to a yoga class, or my house is very calming for me, or it could be going to a sound bowl session or having a meditation room. Just find things that calm you down. Okay, let's go over what actually makes you glow. People glow when they are rested, nourished, feel safe, trust themselves, aren't constantly in fight or flight. Again, it's not just about aesthetics. It's also not when they overtrain, undereat, shame themselves into change, and chase perfection. Those are not ways to glow up. So I hope that helped you switch your mindset around with what a glow up can be. Because absolutely, it can be about looks if that's what you want. I am striving for that a little bit this year, but I'm also striving for the other aspects of it, like my mental health and just feeling better overall. And I think that's a really great place to start. So I challenge you to choose one habit from each of these categories: health, movement, hygiene or skincare, and mindset, and commit for 14 days. So this is only 4 habits that you have to choose and commit for 14 days. And to figure out which habits you want to do, you can ask yourself, which habit would make future me feel more taken care of? So if you want to journal that question, you can. I also have a couple journal prompts at the very end that you can go over as well. So you can do this, or if you already do a lot of these habits, I invite you to join me in my 30-day challenge starting Monday, January 5th. Or if you're listening to this later, start whenever you want. I've chosen 6 habits I'm going to consistently stick to for 30 days. So this includes exercising, eating healthy, tracking my budget, reading 10 pages, meditating, and journaling. I printed off a little tracker and I put it above my desk. I love doing things like this to track it. However, I already do most of these things, just not as consistently as I'd like to. So I'm not starting completely from scratch. And if you are, again, just choose one habit from each category and commit for 14 days. You don't want to overwhelm yourself if you're not used to this. Then after that, you can do the full 30 days. So whichever one you choose, the 14 days or the 30 days, I would love to hear about it. If you can message me on Instagram, that would be amazing, so I can hear what habits you're doing and we can help keep each other accountable. So you can find me at growthroughit.pod on Instagram. If you're still struggling to figure out which habits to do, I have 3 journal prompts for you. So again, you can get your journal out and write this down. If you're busy right now, you can just think about it and come back later. So the first question is, where in my life am I not taking care of myself like I deserve? So where are you not taking care of yourself in your life? The next question is, what would feeling radiant actually feel like day to day? What would that feel like to you? And what would that mean to you? And then the last question is, which habits will help me be closer to reaching my goals? And if you haven't set goals yet this year, make sure you listen to my previous episodes talking about how to do that and doing a bingo card. And then you can figure out what habits will help you reach those goals. So again, the biggest glow up isn't about looking better. It's about treating yourself with respect. That is it for today's episode. I really hope it inspired you to take on some of these habits and to view glowing up in a different light. If you have any questions, you can DM me on Instagram at growthroughit.pod or use the link in the show notes to anonymously ask a question. I would also be so grateful if you would rate, review, follow, or subscribe to this podcast and share it with someone you think would benefit from it. Thank you so much for listening, and remember that you are worthy. See you next time.